Hi all. Well, Inktober is almost upon us again, and I thought I would share with you some of my tools and materials. I'm going to try for it again this year, see how it goes, hopefully well. Who knows what the schedule will bring. I started drawing about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago now. I hadn't drawn actually all year until these sketches. So I'll share with you some of the tools I use for doing these types of sketches. These are the sort of things I'll be doing for my Inktober effort. This is in Strathmore. I think it's series 400, 8.5 by 11 sketchbook. I like this hardcover sketchbook because you can really pull it open and make it lay flat. Also, I like the tooth of the paper is nice. And when I do these sort of drawings, they typically start with a light marker, like so. And then I follow over the top with my inkwork. And the pens I like to use, let's see, in this case it would be a ballpoint pen. And this is an old case, but you can no longer get, so don't try to go look for it online. But what is inside it is this refill. So this refill is from Zebra. It is the BR-6A- oh God, can't even speak today. I've been sick. Sorry. Try it again. BR-6A-HBK. That you can get in different line weights. I use the 0.7 quite a bit, so 0.7 millimeter. I will put a link in the description area to Jet pens. That's where I typically get all my pens from. So that would be what I would use for a sketch like this. So I would start with Copic markers like so, usually like a 0 or a 1 at the most. So I use, it doesn't really matter for me if I use this is I think the Designer series, is that right? I don't know, can't tell. Anyway, it's got the brush pin on one end, and then the other option that they have is this square section one versus the ellipse or this oval style. And it doesn't really matter because I use the hard nib either way. I don't really use the brush pen that much, but I use this guy and typically draw with it upside down. If you've seen my videos before, you'll know that that's how I draw. So I use the sharp end like so and rough out the drawing quickly and then come back and do the inking work after the fact. So when I do the ink and the ballpoint, those are the ink pens I like to use, these markers. And I also like, on the ink side, that Zebra refill, which gives me really nice line control. As far as sketchbooks, this Strathmore, which I already talked about, but I also like this Cottonwood Arts, also 8.5 by 11. And see probably some old sketches in here from previous years. Also a variety of materials, but the paper's nice and heavy, so it's a nice thick stock to draw on. So that's also a good one. I'll put the link to that as well, Cottonwood Arts, in my description for this video. See what else we've got in here. Let's see. Oh, I think there's one more back here. Yeah, brush pen. So when I do the kind of brush pen sketches, again, they start the same way. You can see some really light marker there. That's how the sketch starts. Block out the shape, explore a little bit, and then you'll see that when you come back in with the brush pen, which is this Pentel pocket brush pen, when you come back in with that guy, right, it's super black, and so that lightweight marker just disappears. So you can end up with what looks like a nice sketch, even though you had a very loose underdrawing underneath it. So typically that's how all my sketches go. So that would be the Copic marker with brush pen. And I think a couple of the last ones here. One more page. These are, again, the marker, but these are probably high-tech. So I think this pen, the Pilot GTXC, which is the same actually as the other one, the Pilot High-Tech C. It's actually the same inside pen, but a nice steel nib, gel style, roller ball, and that's one I've used a lot. And it works great for really mechanical shapes, but you can also do organic shapes. You just have to think ahead a little bit more, of course, because it's a black ink pen, and once you put down the mark, it's going to show completely. So again, the undersketch here in marker to explore, and then come back and ink on top. The other pen that I've been experimenting with lately is this pen. I just got these in. Uniball DX. These are, you get them in, I have a 0.38 and a 0.28 that I've been experimenting with. And they seem really nice. They roll nicely. It's a good option for the Pilot if you can't find that, or if you just want to try another pen that gives you a similar sort of line quality. That's also a good one. Those are pretty much all my tools. As far as pens go, the other exception as far as tools go would be something like my ellipse guides if I'm going to do vehicles. So if I look back at this sketch, for instance, everything's freehand with the exception of the ellipses. So I would come back in and clean up my loose drawing at the beginning by setting up my ellipses and using those ellipse guides. The other thing I want to try this year is maybe to take some of these line drawings, scan them, print them a little bit larger, and maybe try to do an overlay with a nice tight line drawing at the end, maybe towards the end of October. And I'm trying to test out these new sweeps that I'm playing with. So these are some of my own designs, trying to refine some of the curves. And so I'll try some of those, and I'll shoot some video of how to use those sort of tools to finish up your drawings and make some nice tight line drawings and get ready for rendering. So I think that's about it. Just a quick, hey, Inktober is coming, and Instagram is where I'll be sharing all my work again this year, like the last couple of years. And you got about 3 weeks to go, so maybe now is time to order up some supplies, get some pens that you want to try to experiment with that you haven't tried in the past. Something new maybe. Inktober is a great time to experiment and push outside your comfort zone and practice your skill set. Oh, one last thing is whenever I draw on a sketchbook, I put a little blotter page. So here I have 2 pieces of just copy paper, and I run those in ahead each time I flip the page, because when I lay down the light marker, a lot of times it can bleed through. So that will keep your pages always fresh and looking nice as you work through your sketchbook. So hope you join Inktober. Jake Parker started Inktober, and I think he asked you post with a hashtag, hashtag Inktober, hashtag Inktober 2017, I think, something like that. Makes your stuff easy to find. I'm generally not good about doing hashtags, but you can find all my stuff on my Instagram account. And hope you join in this year, and I'm going to give it again my best shot. Bye-bye.